12 Commandments of Freemasonry. The first commandment. God is the eternal, infinite, immutable, incomprehensible wisdom, power, and intelligence. Thou shalt adore, revere, and love him. Thou shalt honor him by practicing the virtues and loving and admiring the virtuous. The second commandment. Thy religion shall be to do good, because it is a delight to thee, and not merely because it is a duty. That thou mayest become a friend of the wise, thou shalt obey their precepts. Thy soul is immortal, thou shalt do nothing to degrade it. The third commandment. Thou shalt incessantly war against vice. Thou shalt not do unto others that which thou wouldst not wish them to do unto thee. Thou shalt be submissive to thy fortunes, and keep burning the light of wisdom. The fourth commandment. Thou shalt honor thy parents. Thou shalt pay respect and homage to the aged. Thou shalt instruct the young. Thou shalt protect infancy and innocence. The fifth. Thou shalt cherish thy wife and children, and be true to the vows made by thee at thy marriage. Thou shalt love thy country and obey its laws. The sixth. Thy friend shall be a second thyself, and misfortune shall not estrange thee from him. Thou shalt do, for the sake of his memory, whatever thou wouldst do for him if he were living. The seventh. Thou shalt allow no passion, vice, or indulgence to become thy master. Thou shalt make the passions of others useful lessons to thyself. Thou shalt be indulgent to error, and judge in mercy, and be tolerant. The eighth. Thou shalt avoid and flee from insincere friendships. Thou shalt in everything refrain from excess. Thou shalt not dread, or thou shalt dread not death, but a stain upon thy memory. The ninth. Thou shalt hear much, speak little, and act well. The 10th. Thou shalt forget injuries, for revenge makes enemies eternal. Thou shalt render good for evil. Thou shalt not abuse either thy strength or thy superiority. The 11th. Thou shalt study to know men, that thou mayest learn to know thyself. Thou shalt strive to obtain knowledge, that thou mayest be able to enlighten thy race, and that thy influences may live after thee, doing good. The 12th. You shall love one another. You shall ever walk in the paths of virtue. You shall be just and gentle. You shall be modest and circumspect. Ye shall be grateful to God for his blessings, and to men for their kindness. Ye shall be temperate and chaste. Ye shall be modest, and ye shall avoid idleness. The prayer of the 28th degree. O Father, the one God, hear us, thy erring, feeble children, while we bow to thee in adoration. Thou didst create the universe with a thought, and breathe into man a living soul. We adore thy majesty, and humbly submit to thy providence, and revere thy justice, and trust like little children to thy mercy, and acknowledge with penitence and humility our weakness and our errors. Our life is vanity, and our days pass away like a tale that is told, and as the remembrance of a passenger that stayeth but a night. The days of our pilgrimage are few and sorrowful, and in vain we disquiet ourselves, as a bird beateth its wings against the bars of its cage. Teach us patience, our Father, and submission, and trust and confidence in thee, and in thy goodness and wisdom. Thy counsels are secret, and thy wisdom infinite, and we do not repine when thou bereavest us. Bless, O Father, those of us who are now here assembled, by giving us these most inestimable of all blessings, far above honors and dignities, the priceless jewels of charity, friendship, love, justice, and truth. Aid us in the keeping and perfect observance of all the duties which we have in any wise assumed to perform. Enable us to abide by the promises which we have made to one another. Give to us a more ample and complete understanding of our obligations as brothers of our beloved order, as men and as patriots. Bless and increase and extend that order among all nations and tongues where thy being is recognized. Preserve its principles and its purposes from innovation and continue them honest and just and true. Sustain it against the assaults of ignorance and malice, prevent it being used for improper purposes, and forgive its errors. And to thee, eternal, omnipotent, and merciful deity, and to thy ineffable name be all praise forever. Amen. God help me to be loyal and true.